top 3 fantasy running backs going into the 2025 season, and we will also throw a sleeper in there. Sam, when you were putting your list together, I assume you did this, but just want to make sure because it was my thinking. Did you go full PPR? Is that the kind of leagues you do, or do you do half point? What'd you think? I feel like nobody does standard anymore.
I did go full PPR in my breakdown.
Okay, good. Let's work 3 all the way up to 1, and then we'll wrap with the sleeper. I'm curious, like, who you consider a sleeper. I think that's going to be probably a more interesting conversation. I think kind of the top names are known. Probably a debate between 6, 7 guys. It's just a matter of how we project things going into the season. But Sam, start us off. Where are you going at 3?
I'm hearing good things about Jonathan Taylor from a health standpoint, and that's sort of the bugaboo with Indianapolis. How healthy is Jonathan Taylor? And if the bill of goods is right, he's going to be just fine. Now, they've shuffled the offensive line around, but this is, I believe, a run-first team that sets up the pass via the run. So you can buy low on Jonathan Taylor. I know a lot of rankings have him just outside the top 5, but I'm willing to buy that dip. And, you know, I look at a lot of these lists, as you do as well, and I see Ashton Genty higher than Jonathan Taylor, and I'm just not there. So that'll be a fun conversation over the next couple of months. Where does Ashton Genty go? How high are you? How high is this person? How high is that person? I don't know that Genty has the line to deliver what people want him to do stat-wise and production-wise. So I went Taylor. I think buying the dip on him is not a bad move. I almost went Derrick Henry here, but I went Jonathan Taylor on line number 3. As for number 2, Bijan Robinson, it's time. Give him the ball, and particularly give him the ball inside the 5. How many times did we watch the Falcons over the last couple of years where the running backs get them from the 20 to the 20, get them to the 10, get them to the 5, and then the play calling is just atrocious, right? Let's put the quarterback in the shotgun. It's first and goal at the 3, Joe. Oh, let's put the quarterback at the 8 and snap the ball. It's so dumb.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they figure that out, because this is one of the most talented players in the NFL. He can catch it. He can run it. I think they're finally going to realize that, hey, when we get inside the 5-yard line, we should give this guy the ball. And that's got to be the MO for the Atlanta Falcons. Feed this guy inside the 10. Let him get into the end zone, because I know a lot of people drafted him last year and were not excited about the play calling and what Atlanta was doing inside the red zone, specifically inside the 10, inside the 5. Shore that up. Give him the ball. He's your best player. Give him the ball. So I went Robinson 2, and then number 1 is easy. He's the reigning offensive player of the year behind what I believe is the best offensive line in the NFL, and that's Saquon Barkley. Did you catch the video, by the way, of him jumping over the guy? They're filming the cover shot for the video game, right?
Yeah,
and he's jumping over some guy wearing a Jacksonville Jaguars jersey. There's the Jaguars plug right there, Paul. There you go. So Barkley's leaping backwards over the Jacksonville player, who's not really a Jacksonville player. But you got to kill the king to be the king. And I have a lot of concerns about Philly in several areas. What's up at quarterback? Does Jalen Hurts take that next step? What's going to happen in the defense that lost a lot of guys in the offseason? I have no questions about the O-line and the running back. He is the best player, I think, in the NFL. So this was an easy decision for me. Give him the ball 20, 25 times a game. He can catch it out of the backfield. But the combination of the best running back and one of the best offensive lines gives me no doubt that Saquon Barkley is the A1 pick, or the 1A pick for running backs in 2025.
And it helped that he cashed a monster ticket for you last year. A little bit. Yeah, it helps. It helps a little bit. You want to wait on the sleeper, and then we'll do those at the same time afterwards?
I can do sleeper. This is not really a hot take. Okay,
let's
wait.
Right,
fine, fair enough.
We'll do that back and forth. All right, Saquon, Bijan, Taylor, number 3. Okay, my number 3. it was difficult, that cut line at 3, because there's a bunch of guys that you could make an argument to squeeze into the top 3, and I went with Saquon at number 3 overall. This is a projection based on last year's performance. There's no doubt he's won with a bullet, but I do buy into the camp that we're going to see some regression, and I'm not saying a jinx guy, but in what this was his 7th year, he had 700 more rushing yards than any other season. Now his best offensive line, best quarterback he's played with, all that goes into the wash, but I just don't see it as being repeatable. And maybe you have some injuries on the offensive line that you didn't have a year ago. He had the same number of touchdowns as some of these other names that we're going to mention. I'm just going to doubt that he can repeat that. Now, he's still going to be great. I'm not going to ding him too much, but, staying in the top 3, but maybe not being number 1, number 2, number 3 range. I don't think I'm really criticizing him too much. But if there's somebody that has the burst that could do it again on that team, it is certainly Saquon. But it's tough, and it was a long, long season for him to run that back. I would have to see it again. But I'm not dinging him too much, just removing him from that one spot as far as running back. So I'm going Saquon number 3 overall. I know people are going to jump and take him early. He's probably going to be 1-1 in a lot of drafts. I'm just not going to be taking him there. Number 2, even though this is a team I'm down on, I ended up going with Jahmyr Gibbs. I could see this be the year where he gets more. It hasn't quite been a 50-50 split, but when Montgomery is hurt, what Gibbs does is ridiculous. And he just gashes certain teams. 20 touchdowns last year for Gibbs, and there's probably more in there. We'll see how the offense performs without Ben Johnson, but I do wonder if he ends up getting more touches moving forward. So with that burst, I go Gibbs number 2. Great offensive line. We understand that. We'll have to see how the new offensive coordinator performs. So I go Barkley 3, Gibbs 2, and the guy you had 2, I put 1. I put Bijan number 1 overall in his 3rd season. I see him taking that next leap. He went from 8 touchdowns to 15 touchdowns last year, 2nd year with offensive coordinator Zach Robinson. And if you take a look at what Bijan did, he ended the season with a 2-touchdown game, a 2-touchdown game, and a 2-touchdown game. I think this is going to be a big year for the Falcons, which we'll get into in about 10 minutes, but a big year for Bijan as well. So a couple of the same names here, but I go Bijan 1, Gibbs 2, Saquon 3, just a little bit of a different order, Sam.
I could have easily gone Gibbs in the top 3, but I have my concerns about their play calling. And I think it's an obvious issue there. You lose Ben Johnson, who's now the head coach of the Bears. He put so many pieces in the right place. And to lose him, to me, is a huge deal. Some people don't put a lot of stock in offensive coordinators, but he designed their entire offense. And now he's gone. So I think that was my big issue. That's why I didn't put Gibbs in the top 3. I could easily have done it. Talent-wise, I think he's right there. He's easily in the conversation. I want to see this offense until I believe it, because everything went right for them last year. The line was healthy, the play calling was great, and Gibbs was a monster. We shall see how that goes without Ben Johnson. So I'm a little skeptical. I would have put him maybe at 4. If we did top 5, he would have been in the top 5. I don't dislike Gibbs. I just want to see this offense without Ben Johnson.
Were you close to putting CMC in?
No, I wasn't. And it's crazy you bring that up. A lot of rankings have him outside the top 5. I see him 8th, 9th, and 10th. At a couple places, which I don't necessarily agree with. To put Gentry 5 and McCaffrey 9 is wild to me, because I don't know that Gentry has the line. It's difficult to do what you have to do when you don't have a solid line, and the Raiders do not have a great offensive line. But I see a lot of places putting him not only 5, but other places putting him 4, the 4th best
Saw
running back
that.
in the NFL, and I'm
Come
just
on.
not there, man.
Yeah, and look at the opponents he went against. You mentioned the line. I'll mention the game script. Are they going to be playing with the lead? Or are they going to be in close games? Or are they going to be playing from behind? If they're playing from behind, it's going to be tough to give the rock to Genti again and again. So yeah, that's a reason I kept him out of my top 3. I would probably keep him out of my top 5 as well. All right, let's talk sleepers. Who'd you peg?
Omarion Hampton. Duh.
I knew it. I knew it.
I
Yeah.
mean, come on.
Yeah. That's
There's no
easy.
reason that he shouldn't be the lead guy after 3-4 weeks. I get it. They got Najee Harris. That might muck things up in that Charger backfield if you're a Hampton guy early in the season, but this is his backfield. Get Harris out of my face. He's fine. He's serviceable. The future is Omarion Hampton. So to see some places have him as the 20th running back to me is crazy in tier 4 fantasy pros. So they've got him behind David Montgomery, James Conner, Kamara, Chuba Hubbard, Kenneth Walker. I think that's a big mistake, and I would be buying low on Hampton.
Hampton drafted in the first round for a reason. He's already listed on depth charts as the RB1 with the Chargers. Behind Alt, behind Slater. Yeah, I think that's a good look. I knew you were going to go that route, so I went elsewhere, and I decided to go with another rookie quarterback. I went with a guy that is listed as RB2 right now. I don't expect that to last. There is a reason this running back was taken in the second round of the draft. I'm going to your neck of the woods. I'm going Travion Henderson. Ramondre Stevenson is there. He's viewed as the starting running back for now. I expect that to change. Ball security, a major issue last year. 6 fumbles. And I expect that was the biggest reason that the Patriots took a running back very high in this draft. They have a reworked offensive line. Will Campbell's going to be your left tackle. They bring in the veteran Bradbury to play center. New right tackle as well. That was a big issue last year. We know what Vrabel wants to do. He wants to run the football. So I think Henderson's going to be the guy probably, maybe 3 to 4 weeks into the season. And sleeper, if he gives the opportunity, I like him. So that's the guy that I took as my sleeper, Henderson. What do you think about that one? Because I'd love to hear the buzz over there.
They love him here. They love him.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm going to meet the hype. Some people here in New England are talking about, offensive rookie of the year. I don't know. I don't know about all that. There's a lot of hype around a second-year quarterback, a rookie left tackle, and a rookie running back. You know how I feel about the Patriots. I think they're going to be better, but to go from 4 wins to 9, 10 wins to me is just not something I'm going to bet. But I understand the hype. Henderson has more talent and more upside than Stevenson, for sure.
Another rookie running back, Caleb Johnson, already listed as the RB1 at a lot of spots. So that could be an interesting under-the-radar pick. The Steelers' new running back. It looks like he's going to be ahead of Jaylen Warren.